The leash went tight in his hand as the German Shepherd froze mid-step, body stiff, ears forward, a low growl building in its chest. Did this story touch your heart? Give it a thumbs up, share it around, and drop your location in the comments. Move, the Marine said quietly, tugging once. The dog didn't even flinch. Instead, it stepped forward, slow and controlled, pulling him toward the dim edge of the street. Its eyes never left the shape ahead. The Marine frowned. "What is it?" he whispered. Snow fell softly, but the dog's breathing sharpened. It wasn't fear, it was focus. Another step, and the figure in the snow became clearer, and the dog pulled harder, refusing to stop. The Marine stumbled forward as the dog pulled him closer, boots crunching against the thin layer of snow. His grip tightened on the leash. Oh, but he stopped resisting. "Easy. Slow down," he muttered, breath fogging in the cold air. The figure ahead didn't move. The German Shepherd lowered its head slightly, pace steady now, like it had locked onto something important. Its growl faded into a quiet, controlled breath. As they got closer, the Marine could finally see her. An elderly woman sat on the curb, shoulders hunched, hands trembling near her chest. A small suitcase rested beside her, half covered in snow. "Hey!" he called out carefully. The dog stepped ahead of him, stopping just a few feet from her. The German Shepherd moved one step closer, then stopped, placing itself between the Marine and the woman like a quiet shield. "Stay," the Marine said, confused. The dog didn't listen. It lowered its body slowly and sat beside her, but close enough that their shoulders almost touched. Its head turned slightly, watching her face not with fear, but with recognition. The woman didn't react at first. Her eyes stayed fixed ahead, empty. The Marine stepped closer, heart starting to pound. "Ma'am, are you okay?" No answer. The dog let out a soft, low whine. That sound changed everything. The woman's fingers twitched. And then, very slowly, she turned her head toward them. Her eyes met the dog first. For a second, they didn't blink. The German Shepherd leaned closer, nose lifting slightly as if trying to confirm something. Its tail didn't wag. It stayed still, focused, almost careful. Then the woman's gaze shifted, slowly, toward the Marine. He felt it instantly. Something in her eyes made his chest tighten. "Ma'am," he said again, softer now, and she opened her mouth, but no sound came out. The dog moved closer, pressing lightly against her side, giving warmth. The Marine crouched down, closer now, studying her face. There was something familiar, too familiar, and he couldn't explain why. The Marine leaned in a little more, searching her face, trying to understand what his gut was already telling him. "Have we met before?" he asked quietly. The woman's lips trembled. No clear answer, just a faint breath. The German Shepherd shifted again, and this time nudging the small bag beside her with its nose. It didn't stop. It kept pushing it gently toward the Marine. Right, he said, confused, reaching for it, and the zipper was half open. Inside were a few clothes, some papers. Then something caught his eye. The dog went still, watching, waiting. The Marine slowly reached deeper into the bag and pulled it out. It was an old photograph. The edges were worn, slightly torn. Snowflakes melted against its surface as he held it up under the streetlight. His breath stopped. A young Marine stood in the picture, uniform crisp, smiling. Beside him, a woman, her hand resting on his shoulder. The same eyes, the same face, just younger. "No," he whispered, shaking his head. The German Shepherd stepped closer, pressing against his leg, steadying him. The woman's lips moved again. "You came back." The words were faint, fragile, but clear. His grip tightened on the photo. His chest felt like it was collapsing. "Mom!" The word barely left his lips before his knees gave out beneath him. "Mom! It's me," he said, voice breaking, moving closer. The woman blinked slowly, yet trying to focus. Her hand lifted, weak and trembling, reaching toward his face but stopping halfway. The German Shepherd stepped in, gently guiding her hand forward with its nose until her fingers touched his cheek. She froze there. Tears filled his eyes. "I'm here. I'm right here." The dog stayed between them, steady, holding the moment together. Her lips moved again, barely a whisper. "You took so long." The words hit harder than anything, and the Marine felt something inside him begin to break. "I didn't know. I didn't know you were here," he said quickly, his voice shaking as he held her hand. Her fingers felt cold. Too cold. The German Shepherd shifted closer again, pressing its body against her side, trying to give her warmth. It glanced up at him, alert, almost urging him to act. "How long have you been out here?" he asked, panic rising. She swallowed slowly. "I don't remember. Days, maybe?" His chest tightened. "Where's your home?" he asked. She looked away. No answer. The dog let out a low, warning whine, then looked back at the street behind them, like it was telling him this wasn't the whole story. The Marine followed the dog's gaze, turning his head slowly toward the dark street behind them. "Did someone leave you here?" he asked, his voice low but urgent. The woman didn't answer right away. Her eyes dropped to the ground, avoiding his. The German Shepherd stood up suddenly. Its posture changed, alert, focused, tense. It stepped away from them, then stopped, looking back at him. "Where are you going?" he said, confused. The dog gave a short, sharp bark, and then turned and started walking down the street. It didn't run. It led. The Marine looked back at his mother, then at the dog. Something deeper was waiting, and the dog wanted him to see it. "Stay here. I'll be back," he said quickly, pulling off his jacket and wrapping it around her shoulders. The German Shepherd didn't wait. It kept moving, slow but certain. "All right, I'm coming," he muttered, getting up and following. The street was quiet, too quiet. The dog led him past a row of houses, then stopped near a gate slightly left open. It sniffed the ground, then the handle, then looked back at him. "Someone was here," the Marine whispered. The dog pushed the gate with its nose. It creaked open. Inside, the lights were off, but something felt wrong, very wrong. The dog stepped in first, and the Marine followed. The German Shepherd moved slowly across the yard, nose low, tracing a path that wasn't visible to the eye. Its body stayed tense, every step controlled. "Hey! Anyone here?" the Marine called out, his voice echoing faintly. No answer. The dog reached the front door. It wasn't fully closed. A narrow gap. The dog stopped there, then looked up at him, waiting. The Marine's hand hovered near the door. His heart was beating faster now. "Something's not right," he whispered. The dog let out a low, warning growl. Not fear, a signal. The Marine pushed the door open slowly and stepped inside. The air inside felt cold and still. The German Shepherd stepped in first, scanning the room, ears sharp, body tense. Its nose moved quickly, picking up something the Marine couldn't see. "Hello," the Marine called again, quieter this time. Silence. Furniture was out of place. A chair tilted. Papers scattered on the floor. The dog moved deeper, then stopped near a table. It nudged something with its nose. The Marine stepped closer. An envelope. Old, creased. His name written on it. His breath caught. The dog sat beside it, staring up at him, like it had been waiting for this moment. And whatever was inside was about to change everything. The Marine picked up the envelope with unsteady hands. It felt light, but heavy at the same time. "Why would this be here, he murmured. The German Shepherd stayed close, eyes fixed on him, unmoving. He tore it open carefully. Inside was a folded letter, his mother's handwriting. His chest tightened as he opened it. "My son, if you're reading this, something has already gone wrong." His breath stopped. But the dog shifted slightly, pressing closer. "They said I was a burden, that I needed to leave. I didn't fight them. I thought, Maybe you would come back one day." His hands began to shake. The dog let out a soft whine, and the truth started to sink in. The words blurred as his eyes filled with tears. "I didn't want you to see me like this," he read softly, voice breaking. The German Shepherd pressed its head against his leg, steady and grounding, as if holding him in place. "They told me to leave the house, said it wasn't mine anymore." His grip tightened on the letter. "Who?" he whispered. The dog suddenly lifted its head. Alert again, it turned toward the hallway, ears sharp, a sound. Faint, but there. A floorboard creaked. The Marine froze. "Someone's here," he said under his breath. The dog stepped forward. He slow and silent, not backing away, moving toward it, and forcing the Marine to follow. The German Shepherd moved into the hallway, body low, steps silent but firm. "Hey, who's there?" the Marine called out, voice tense. No reply. The dog stopped at a half-open door, then looked back at him, eyes sharp, warning him. The Marine swallowed hard and pushed the door open. Inside, a man stood frozen near the window, eyes wide. "Wait, listen, I can explain," he stammered. The dog stepped forward instantly, placing itself between the Marine and the man, blocking him. "Don't move," the Marine said coldly. The man raised his hands. "She left on her own." "That's not what the letter says," the Marine cut in. The dog didn't blink, and the truth was about to come out. The man's voice shook. I didn't mean for it to go that far." The German Shepherd took one slow step forward, a low growl rising, forcing him back against the wall. "Then explain it," the Marine said, eyes locked on him. "She couldn't keep up. Needed care. I thought it was better if she left quietly," the man stuttered. "Better?" The Marine's voice dropped. The dog barked once, sharp, controlled. The man flinched. "I was going to come back for her," he added quickly. The Marine shook his head. "You left her in the cold." The dog didn't move, didn't forgive, and neither did he. The Marine stepped closer, his jaw tight. "You don't get to decide someone's life like that." The man's eyes darted to the door. "I panicked. I didn't think." The German Shepherd moved instantly, blocking the exit before he could take a step. A low growl filled the room, deep and controlled. "Don't even try," the Marine said. The man froze. Silence pressed in, then the Marine took a slow breath. "You're going to fix this." "How?" the man whispered. The dog barked once, sharp, like an answer, and the Marine pointed toward the door. "You're coming with me." And the dog stayed between them, making sure he had no choice. And the German Shepherd walked behind the man as they stepped out, keeping just enough distance to control him. Every time he slowed, the dog let out a low warning, pushing him forward. "Keep moving," the Marine said coldly. They reached the street again. The woman was still there, wrapped in the jacket, shivering. The moment the dog saw her, it moved ahead, going straight to her side again, sitting close, guarding. The man stopped. His face went pale. I didn't think she'd still be here," he whispered. The Marine turned sharply. "That's the problem." The dog looked between them, and the truth now stood in the open. The Marine stepped closer to his mother, dropping to his knees beside her again. "It's okay. I'm here," he said softly. The German Shepherd stayed pressed against her, giving warmth, eyes still watching the man. She looked up slowly and saw him. Her expression changed. Fear, confusion. "You," she whispered weakly. The man looked down, unable to meet her eyes. "I'm sorry," he muttered. The dog let out a low growl, not loud, but enough to stop him from coming any closer. The Marine shook his head. "Sorry doesn't fix this." The woman's hand tightened slightly in his, and the moment became heavier than words. The Marine took a slow breath, steadying himself. "You're done here," he said firmly. The man nodded quickly. "I understand. I won't come near her again." The German Shepherd stepped forward once, just enough to make him back away. Its eyes never left him until he turned and walked down the street, disappearing into the dark. Only then did the dog relax. It returned to the woman, sitting close, calm again. The Marine looked at her gently. "We're going home." She blinked, tears forming. "Home?" she whispered. He nodded. "With me." The dog leaned softly against her, and for the first time, she didn't feel alone anymore. The Marine slipped his arm under her shoulders, lifting her slowly. "Easy. I've got you," he said. The German Shepherd stayed close, watching every movement, ready to support if she slipped. Her steps were weak, uneven. I can't walk much," she whispered. "You don't have to," he replied. He guided her carefully toward the car. The dog moved ahead, reaching the door first, waiting, like it knew exactly what needed to happen. The Marine opened the door and helped her inside. She sank into the seat, exhausted. The dog jumped in after her, settling right beside her, not leaving her side, not anymore. The Marine closed the door and moved to the driver's seat, hands still shaking as he gripped the wheel. He glanced back. His mother leaned against the seat, eyes half closed. The German Shepherd sat beside her, pressed close, watching her breathing. "She's cold," he whispered. The dog shifted, resting its body tighter against her, sharing warmth. The engine started. They pulled away slowly. Streetlights passed in silence. After a moment, she spoke again, barely audible. "I waited. Every day." His chest tightened. "I should have come sooner," he said, voice breaking. The dog lifted its head slightly, watching him, like it already knew. This wasn't over yet. The dog suddenly lifted its head higher, ears locking forward. It wasn't relaxed anymore. "What is it?" the Marine asked, glancing back. The German Shepherd shifted, placing one paw firmly on his mother's arm as if to keep her steady. Then it let out a short, sharp bark. Not panic, warning. The Marine slowed the car. "Something's wrong?" The dog leaned closer to her face, watching her breathing closely. Too closely. "Mom!" he called, turning in his seat. Her eyes didn't respond. Her breathing was shallow, uneven. The dog whined, louder now, urgent. The Marine's heart dropped. "No. Stay with me." The Marine slammed the brakes and turned fully in his seat. "Mom, stay with me." Her head tilted slightly, eyes barely open. The German Shepherd pushed closer, nose near her face, letting out a sharp, desperate whine. Hey, look at me," the Marine said, panic rising. Her breathing slowed again. Too slow. The dog barked once, loud this time, then looked straight at him, demanding action. All right, he said, starting the engine again, faster now. The dog stayed pressed against her, refusing to move, guiding, protecting. The Marine gripped the wheel tighter. "Hold on. Please, just hold on." And the road ahead suddenly felt too long. The German Shepherd shifted again, then suddenly lifted its head and barked, loud, urgent, commanding. The Marine's eyes snapped forward. "What?" he said, a breath quick. The dog barked again, then moved its body, pushing slightly toward the side of the road. "Are you serious?" he muttered, but he slowed anyway. Ahead, a small building stood under dim light. The dog barked again. All right, he said, turning the wheel sharply. The car pulled in fast. The moment it stopped, the dog jumped out first. It didn't hesitate. It ran straight toward the entrance. The Marine looked at the sign, then back at his mother, and followed. The Marine rushed after the dog, pulling the door open as it reached the entrance and barked again, louder now. "Help! I need help!" he shouted, carrying his mother inside. The German Shepherd stayed right beside him, pacing, watching every movement. A man stepped forward quickly. "What happened?" "She can't breathe properly," the Marine said, his voice shaking. "Lay her here," the man replied, pointing. The dog tried to follow, but the Marine held its collar gently. "Stay, please." The dog resisted for a second, then sat, but its eyes never left her, not for a single moment. and neither did his. The German Shepherd shifted in place, unable to stay still, eyes fixed on her as she lay there. Its breathing was sharp, restless. "Please, do something," the Marine said, his voice breaking. "Stay calm," the man replied, checking her pulse. "She's weak, very weak." The dog let out a low whine, stepping forward again. "Hey, stay," the Marine said softly, holding its collar. The dog froze, but only for a moment. Then it slowly sat again, watching, waiting. Every second felt longer. The Marine clenched his fists. "She's going to be okay, right?" The man didn't answer immediately, and that silence said everything. The German Shepherd suddenly stood up again, ears sharp, as if sensing a change before anyone else. "Wait, hold on," the man said, leaning closer to her. The Marine stepped forward. "What is it?" "She's responding," the man murmured. The dog moved closer, slower this time, watching her face. A faint breath, then another. "Mom?" the Marine whispered. Her fingers twitched slightly. The dog let out a soft sound, almost a sigh, lowering its head near her hand. "She's stabilizing," the man said quietly. The Marine's shoulders dropped, relief hitting all at once. The dog stayed right there, still, calm, like it had just pulled her back from something unseen. The Marine let out a shaky breath and stepped closer, his voice softer now. "Mom, can you hear me?" Her eyes fluttered. Slowly, painfully, they opened. The German Shepherd lifted its head instantly, watching her face like it had been waiting for this exact moment. "You're safe," the Marine whispered. Her gaze moved, unfocused at first. Then it found him. A faint tear slipped down her cheek. "You came," she said, barely audible. "I'm not leaving again," he replied. The dog leaned gently against her hand. She didn't pull away. She held on to its fur instead. And for the first time, her grip didn't feel weak anymore. It felt like she was holding on to life. The Marine stayed close, not letting go of her hand. "I've got you," he said, voice steady now. The German Shepherd rested its head on the edge of the bed, eyes soft but still alert, watching her every breath. And she looked at the dog, fingers gently moving through its fur. "It found you," she whispered. He nodded. "It brought me to you." Her eyes filled again. "I knew you would come." The dog shifted closer, calm, protective, like it understood every word. The Marine swallowed hard. "You're not alone anymore. Not ever again." She closed her eyes slowly, but this time, it wasn't from weakness. It was peace, and the dog stayed right there, making sure it stayed that way.